On the road again. On the road again. Jesus, it's epic. Drum playing. Man, look how detailed that cactus is. So detailed. Seems like a really high-end made visual novel. The music ends. The cassette clicks to a stop. I've listened to it so many times, I've even memorized the placement of the static from the song's original broadcast. I'm worried the deck might eventually eat the tape, but it never happened to him, no matter how many times he played the damn thing, so I'm not too scared. It used to drive me crazy. Every day he played it over and over again. Sure, he would throw on something different after a few loops, but soon enough, he'd switch back and the cycle would repeat itself. Sometimes I think he would do it just to mess with me. I would be in the back, in bed, smothering a pillow over my head to block out the music. He would just turn it up louder, even doing all-nighters. That was so like him. Even near the end, when we had to finally settle down, he was still pulling that kind of crap. I'd come home from school sometimes and the police would be at the door because the entire block had called in a noise complaint. He said it was because he was hard of hearing, but I know he did it just to get a rise out of the old grouches who lived nearby. I think that was his worst fear ending up just another bitter sack of bones. So he did everything in his power to be the exact opposite, right up until the end. Of course, that meant I would always deal with the fallout. I can't imagine what the neighbors thought, seeing a little girl go door to door apologizing because some old man decided it would be funny to play plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns. Oh, to put plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns. I can't help but smile, just a little, even if it does hurt. I take a sip of my coffee. Outside, a heat haze shimmers over the never-ending oceans of sand. So much desert. Even Roswell was just rock, sand, and a few shacks. All alien themed, of course. Didn't see any UFOs, though. I'm not used to how dry everything is. Even with the AC on high enough to rip off my earbrows, I'm still all sweaty. Guess that's what happens when you laze around in snowy Colorado for a decade. In that regard, the desert is a nice change of scenery. I don't exactly hate it. New sights are nice, especially since his health didn't allow him to do a lot of traveling when I was a little girl. I could see myself getting used to this. Well, maybe in another 15 years, when I have everything paid off. God, damn it. Amber, snap out of it. You can worry about that later. This isn't your trip, so stop being so selfish. I push the eject button. I take the tape out and look it over, probably for the 20th time today. Years worth of brown stains and greasy fingerprints are smudged all over, making it feel grimy to the touch. It still works like a charm, though. There are more cassettes in the glove compartment, a mixture of mine and his. Mostly his. I should just play one of those and get it over with. My hand gravitates towards the latch. It will be okay, right? No. I snatch my hand away from the latch and flip the tape over. Once again, I find myself staring. With a sigh, I stick it back into the deck. I reach towards the play button, taking another look to see if the road is still clear. Like always, it. What the heck was that? Isn't. I slam on the brakes, their shriek piercing my skull. A glance at my rearview mirror shows a girl creening next to an ancient-looking car, covering her ears as I screech down into the road. Making a U-turn of dubious legality, I pull up in front of her car, killing the motorhome's engine. I hop out and shield my eyes from the blazing New Mexico sun. Only now do I realize how precious the AC really was. It really is. It doesn't take more than several steps before the girl comes bouncing up to me with a look of relief.
Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you! I was starting to think no one would ever stop.
Oh, this has voice acting. Even better. With each word, she gets a little closer. So we're finally within touching distance of each other. Her smiling face now filling my entire field of vision. Her bright auburn hair is done into a girlish side tail, glistening beneath specks of sweat. Standing out in the heat has made her round, pale cheeks a sun-kissed red, but she still looks put together, like the desert would soon melt her, then do any damage to her looks. I almost feel embarrassed to be in front of someone who is dressed so cutely, her frilly green top and skirt, putting my red t-shirt and khakis to shame. It's all brought together by one thing, though. Her eyes. Those blue, vividly blue, deep and rich, complementing the traces of her misty perfume as she got closer and closer. This is gonna be a Yuri, isn't it? I got a feeling. How much she's describing means that this character is looking very, close at this person. And it doesn't mean that she's, getting closer to her, that it just feels like I'm focusing way too much on this, and I feel like this is gonna turn to Yuri. Not complaining. Just feel like it. Too close, too close, too close. I scramble back and cough, trying to hide any awkwardness.
No problem.
Oh, yes. What's she doing out here alone? Driving through? Hell, is she even alone? I peer off into the plains on the side of the road, half expecting a guy to pop up from hiding place, now that some idiot has fallen for their trap. That idiot being me, of course. But much to my surprise, no one does. Instead, the girl continues to stare at me, smiling as she patiently waits for my response. I glance behind her, focusing on the car.
So what's the issue? Your car breakdown?
I think so, yeah. I was driving and I just kind of...
Stopped.
Yeah.
She lowered her head in shame, eyes fixated at her feet, digging the dust around her.
I'm
kicking.
not much of a car buff, but I can take a look at it.
Her head pops back up and life returns to her eyes.
Oh, wow! Could you?
Yeah. Can't promise that I can do anything, but I can at least check it out.
That'd be great!
Alright, first things first then.
This thing looks even older than my motorhome. It was probably a nice car once upon a time, but with a dented grille, multiple scratches, and faded murky green color, it's hard to believe such a cute girl was driving it. I slide into the fabric seat and start the ignition. I don't know too much about how this stuff works, just enough to keep the motorhome from giving out. But I can't imagine it's too significant of an issue. Probably just a dead battery or... no gas. A single car passed by, cooling us with a refreshing gust of wind, sparkled with dirt and sand.
Is something wrong?
Is this a joke?
Oh no, did I break it?
No, it's just out of gas.
What? No way! Dad said I should have filled up before I left.
Is she for real? Why is this girl in the middle of nowhere by herself? As if trying to force all the ideas into the center of her brain, the girl grabs her head and whines under her breath.
Ah, man, and I didn't charge my phone either. What am I gonna do?
I'd offer her mine, but I'd never had a cell phone in my life. Seems like you'd had to be pretty absent-minded to forget that, though. She whines once more and turns to me.
Hey, this might seem a little weird,
Oh, no.
but could you take me somewhere nearby so I can get some gas?
And what do you know? She actually did it.
How long did you say you've been stuck out here?
I don't know. A few hours, maybe? I've been trying to wave down everyone who drives by, but you were the first to stop.
Hold on, everyone?
Yep.
This heat must have fried her brain. Does she have any idea how dangerous that is?
That's probably not a good idea, you know.
She cocks her head to the side and gives me a look of genuine curiosity, like it wasn't obvious or something.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know. A cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert? It's just asking for trouble.
But you're a cute young girl alone in the middle of a desert.
Ooh. Ooh. You've seen that tension already.
What?
Her comeback takes me off guard and I turn away a little, avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, but that's different.
A smile returns to her face. The same bright one that she showed me when I first pulled over. I'm still avoiding eye contact, but she leans over to the direction I'm looking and continues to smile.
So, do you think you can give me a ride?
I don't know.
Please! It shouldn't take very long.
This girl, it's like she didn't even listen to what I said. Still, better me than some psycho. Besides, it's not like a small detour will make me late or anything.
I guess it's fine. I'm not in too big of a rush anyway.
Yay!
Before I'm even finished, she springs off the ground, bouncing to the motorhome.
Hey, wait!
But it's already far too late, as she somehow made her way into the motorhome before its owner, even finding the time to give me a small wave from the passenger seat. I heave a heavy sigh, rubbing my temple as I climb back up into the driver's seat. The key is still dangling in ignition. I wrench it around, and the motorhome roars to life, forcing a surprised squeak out of the girl.
By the way, my name is Marina. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Amber, don't mention it.
Careful not to hit her car, I back the RV up and turn it around, sending us in my original direction. I reach for the play button on the cassette player, finally giving in to the temptation. Marina starts up again.
Why aren't we going the other way? Wasn't there a station a little ways back?
It was more than a little ways back. I saw a sign a few miles ago that said there was a station not too far from here, so we're going there.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that. You're really observant.
Yeah, or you're just really oblivious. Aw, come on. Be a little bit nicer.
Not really.
Silence falls between us. The roaring of the engine and something in my nose. And switching of the wind from outside being the only sounds. I take that as my cue and reach for the cassette player once more. Finally give...
How do you even drive this thing? It's huge!
Marina spreads her arms out like an eagle unfurling its wings, almost bopping me on the head in the process. I clear my throat and grab her arm out from the air, gently placing it on her lap.
It's not that bad. You get used to it.
She tilts her head to the side and gives a little grunt, as if saying, "That's so," and we return to the silence of before. Again, I reach for the cassette play.
So what are you doing out here? Are you going camping? Seems like what you're doing is fun.
I take a deep breath and hold it on as long as possible before letting it out.
Just traveling. What about you? Why are you out here?
Oh, well, it's kinda silly.
She scratches her head and lets out an embarrassed laugh before staring at her feet. She quiets down and surprisingly stays quiet. Well, looks like that worked. I reach for the cassette player one last time. I stop for a moment to look at the glove compartment and then Marina, who looks lost in thought. Finally, I press play.